What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Resident Evil 9. We got a pretty big rumor on it, and I want to throw it out there because just a few weeks ago, we had talked about, I made a series of videos about, what's going on with blank game, and Resident Evil 9 was one of the videos or one of the games that I chose, and I talked about what I think we're going to see in terms of when they're going to announce the game and when the game comes out. Well, if this rumor is true, and it is just a rumor, but if it is true, I do want to say I called it just a few weeks ago. Not saying I beat Dusk Golem to it, but it seems accurate. It seems like they're following a pattern. Then you have somebody like him in Dusk Golem that's a pretty darn good leaker when it comes to, at least specifically, Capcom and even like a Konami thing with Silent Hill and whatnot, and he pretty much says the same thing. So what do we have? We have that the game is coming out in 2025 and that the game will be announced next year. Now that's exactly, what I had said. That's exactly what I think a lot of us had figured. It follows the average, I guess, length of time, the average years in between the last several main installment Resident Evil games. It also follows the average of when you announce the game to when the game comes out. If you remember the video we did a few weeks back, I looked at Resident Evil 2 Remake, 3 Remake, I guess even 7 and 8, and what you see is kind of a pattern, is they do it roughly 6 months is probably the minimum. I think one of the remakes they did maybe 5 months before, but most of them they do more in that 9, 10, 11 month range. They normally would announce them at around E3 time, right? So around June. I say E3 time because E3 is no longer with us, so most likely if Capcom does this next year, they're gonna have to do it on their own, maybe a Resident Evil specific showcase, maybe they do Pragmata, along with it, because they still have to give us more info on that, but that seems to be what's gonna happen. They'll announce the game next year. I would probably predict, halfway through the year, maybe around that June period, and then the game comes out in 2025. So fingers crossed. I don't know, does that help my believability? Do people kind of trust me or say, oh, Alex maybe knows what he's talking about because he can kind of see trends in the gaming industry? But that's one thing I do want to say, just kind of for fun. Another part of this rumor is that Dusk Golem says that there's going to be a really big Capcom game that's announced this fall, or in the rest of 2023, and then it comes out next fall, 2024. And people kind of say, what could that game be? Well, he's not very specific, so you don't actually know what he's talking about. Could be a horror thing, could be not. A lot of people thinking Monster Hunter, because that was already kind of previously rumored to be happening. It's been quite a while since the last main installment Monster Hunter game. This would be a good chance. For me, I'm not even a Monster Hunter fan. I didn't play the last one. My wife did actually quite a bit. So the next one, whatever the next thing that they do that kind of comes out across the board, that would probably be the next Monster Hunter that I would play. But primarily a Resident Evil video here, and we got that rumor. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for next year. Give me Resident Evil 9, give me Pragmata, give me a few other things. I'm golden. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.